Hello, my name is Gwen, and welcome to your practice. So today, bring your beginner's mind. So we're going to start with a T. So you'll have a blanket at the top as a roll where you'll place the back of your skull, and then the rest will go up and down your spine with your sit bones right down on the mat. So go ahead and bring your sit bones on the mat. Nestle your lower back right in. And then let yourself rest right here. And feel for a moment where you're at, where your starting point is. Whether you're a beginner or whether you've been coming to your mat and practicing for days and weeks and months and years is of no concern. What we ask here is the beginner's mind. Like you've landed in this body for the first time. Become aware of where you've landed and what you've brought into your practice. Is your mind racing? Is the body relaxed? Is there any deep-seated discomfort anywhere? So relax through the jaw just a little bit more here. Intention to release what we're holding on to, known or unknown, and come into that freedom that's ours as a healing reservoir all around us. And we'll let that spill out into the world as kindness. So let's turn that inward as loving kindness to ourselves now. Pour all your awareness into the breath and fill up the bottom of the lungs, the middle, and the top. Feel it expand. And as you exhale, notice the descent as you empty the lungs from the top, the middle, and the bottom slowly. Feel each step of the way as you fill and expand. And as you exhale, that surrender, the sweet surrender, as we let go of what we might be carrying and holding on to in this part of the body. And one more. And interlace the fingers. Send the palms up. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the fingers and let one elbow come down to the floor. You might move the head in that general direction, or you might like to move the head in the opposite for a few. Marry the movement, this mechanics of the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, and notice how it can mirror with the breath here. Hold it steady as you inhale and you exhale. Slow breath, slow movement. Inhaling, fill the lungs right up to the top. And as you exhale, empty the lungs all the way to the last bit and hold in that emptiness. Notice how it feels to fill up from that place and then to empty that fullness. A little pause filled, a little pause empty. Then let the elbow rest on one side and start to circle the arms around in a circular motion. Eyes are closed. You don't have to, there is no perfect here, so feel for a moment What does this circle feel like in your shoulders and arms? And what's it like to go the other direction? Can you go a little slower? Like we're moving in slow motion, or like thick fluid? Then the arms come up, and undo the fingers now and press through the center of the palm. Feel the space between the fingers, expand, and then relax that effort. Another one. Press through the center of the palm. Feel the fingers move away from each other, and then relax. And one more. Come into that elastic quality. Relax. And now effortless effort. Let the hands circle around the wrist, and the arms are up. So let them flop just a little bit here as they move effortlessly. And then the other direction. And then float the arms down. As they find the floor, knuckles heavy, palms up. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. Bent knees here. Heel toe your feet wide. And let one elbow come away from the body and drag that elbow towards. Away and then back. Move the arm up, just at a different time of the clock. If our arms were the arms of a clock, move it away and then back and away and back. And pick one more time, either up or lower. Let it move out, and then the elbow comes back. And one more out, and then let it rest right there. Feel the other side and carry that elbow in, drag it on the floor, and drag it on the floor out. Drag it back, and back out. Pick another time for that arm, so maybe a little bit upward, out, reach, and then drag it back. Reach it out, and reach it back. And now pick one more time for that arm, so one more angle for the shoulder, one more location for the arm. Now both arms, outward and inward. Move them to a new location, both arms out and back in. And one more. And then relax that effort and feel where the shoulder blades to the shoulders, all the way through the neck to the center of the brain. So dive through the brow. Feel the breath enter that area with the eyes closed. As you exhale, soften. And one more breath just like that. Ah. And then from here, go ahead and roll off of your props. So roll off of the blanket. Send the blanket over. So just a little light housekeeping. Clear the runway and come onto your back. And here now, feel for a moment. Flat. What is that like? Scan from the base of your spine as you lengthen through one leg at a time. Rock the head as you settle in. Let the toes dance a wee bit here. And then, what is stillness like here, flat on your back? How is the body organized on your mat? Can you sense and feel the toes all the way to the heel, through the Achilles to the calf? What do your knees feel like? The upper thigh, are they full? Is one hovering, or they both feel heavy on the mat? The sit bones feel the balanced or in balance? Does one side feel like it's down and the other side up? Come into that lower lumbar sacral spine, all the way to the mid spine and to the shoulders. Feel the back of the skull and travel to the center of the brain, where you think that might be. Take a deep breath right there. Exhale it all out. Then go ahead and drag the heels all the way up. We'll come into our moving core twist now. So you might need the blanket over on your right side. So we'll start with it on our right side. So you might want to fold it or roll it if it's not in a roll anymore, and place it on by that hip thereabouts. It doesn't have to touch the body, but be close. And then let one foot come up and then the other. So the shins feel like they're parallel with the ceiling, or the heels can come down. So feel where you'd like to practice there. The inner big toes can tap, can touch, and the heels don't have to. Feel that pelvic floor come up and the navel center come down. Tree hugging arms here, palms in the direction of each other. And then go ahead and send the knees over to one side and the arms over to the opposite. Feel the back of the shoulders. They don't leave the floor. Let them be heavy on the floor. And now feel that light massage of one shoulder to the other. The head can follow the ball or the hands here, like we're holding a great big beach ball. Notice the core working. And what does that feel like in your body? A little pause on each side. As we wake up, layer upon layer. The obliques, the intercostals, all the muscles of the belly here. So one more this way. And then one more that way. Come all the way to center and let your feet slowly come to the floor. Here you'll lengthen through that right leg. Leave the left one bent and take the toes right behind that right knee. Then you'll roll right over the outer edge of that right leg so that the left knee can rest on the blanket. Leave it right underneath, or that knee can come to the floor for some of you. Remember, pain is not an option. So let it rest. I'll represent that, the blanket underneath the knee. And to anchor it down, if it's feeling like you're going to float right back over, go ahead and take the right hand right on top of that left knee. So you can feel grounded in this posture, in this pose. The left one can stay where it is, or it can reach all the way up above the crown and let it drape. It can drag to a cactus arm or come out like a T. The head can stay in the general direction of the knees, the ceiling, or right over to the opposite side. Relax through the jaw and come to that breath where you inhale nice and full and deep, and as you exhale, pause in that exhale and feel the yumminess of this twist. You inhale and you feel the belly broaden and widen and soften. And as you exhale, you pause in that emptiness. And 2 more just like that. Inhaling nice and full and deep. And that sweet surrender as you come into this twist just a wee bit more. Last one. And then roll onto your back. Knees can bend. Observe. Heel toe the feet wide and feel for a moment from one hip to the other, all the way through the rib cage to the shoulders. Notice the legs. And take that deep dive into the center of the brain here. Send a few valuable breaths. Feel this area fill right up. And then that deep release as you let go any tight woven bands. One more. Go ahead and take the roll over to your left side, the other side. It doesn't have to touch the body. From here, one foot can come up and then the other. Let's come back into our core twist exploration, back of the shoulders, anchor down. Inner big toe line, you can touch. The heels don't have to. Go ahead and take the knees to one side, arms to the opposite. The head can roll with the knees. Feel the back of the skull roll from side to side with the eyes closed. And notice how this feels for you. Whittling our middle here, waking up the whole core line from the center outward. Notice how it feels from one side to the other. And how about one more this way and one more that way? Then come to the center and let the feet come down. Lengthen through that left leg. Feel the right toes come right underneath that left knee. And then roll right over that outer edge of that long and strong leg. Take one hand right on top of that right knee and anchor it down. So that bent knee, let it anchor down. And feel that support as you ground this pose. The other right arm can stay where it is. Option to bring it all the way up. Reach, lengthen the spine, and then let it drape. It can drag to a cactus shape or below the shoulder. The nose can roll to the knees, ceiling, or the opposite direction. Wherever you find yourself, breathe deeply and enjoy filling the lungs all the way up with a light little pause. As you exhale, pause. Fill all the way up. Let the belly expand, soften. As you exhale, you pour yourself just a wee bit more into this shape. Just a handful more. Let yourself relax into this twist just a wee bit more as you sense and feel the lower lumbar sacral spine, the outer edge, all the way through to the belly, that center. Notice how you feel. And 2 more breaths, just like that. Relax through the jaw a wee bit more. Let this next breath be your last in this shape. Enjoy that exhale. Then roll onto your spine. Lengthen through one leg at a time. Scan the body and notice with some subtle movement here. Some gentle, somatic, mindful movement. How your body has shifted. From the center out. Feel the heels. To the knees. To where the legs meet the torso. The sit bones. The lower spine. All the way through the shoulders. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. Go ahead and bend up one knee at a time. Drag the hips over to one side. Roll to the other. And come on up into a V-sit. So our Upavishta, or a dragonfly for you yinsters. So go ahead and just bring the legs outward like a V-sit here. We're going to come into some hip rotations. So we'll start with the left side. So, or the left hand coming over to the left side. The right hip will come up. So bring that right hand into that side of the pelvis and let it lift from the floor, and the big toe edge of the foot might come down. And then bring the hand into that hip and come on all the way back. Stay on that side for 2 more, but close the eyes now. Let it rise and then lower. So if you find yourself coming back, then you might need a blanket underneath the sit bones. So you can use now the art of folding and make that blanket a little thicker and place it underneath the sit bones if you feel you're falling back. So how about 1 more up and then 1 more down. Let's come on over to the other side. Right hand comes to that right. Let the left hip come up. Eyes are closed. The hand, that left hand, is on that side of the pelvis. And then you offer a little assistance back down. You come up, lifting, and feeling the whole leg, foot come into the mat, and then you lower. And then 1 more. And notice how that feels. And we'll come to a little bit of a side bend here. So your other blanket, you can bring underneath the right knee, so the knee feels like it's resting into it. And then bring your elbow of that right side down, or the forearm or the hand. So I'll represent the inside of the knee with the elbow. And I'll place my right ear into the palm. If it feels too much, you bring the fingers in, the thumb on the outside, and build the shelf so that the side of the temple or ear can rest there. And the other arm can float up as you fill up your lungs, and then float down. 2 more just like that. Fill the lungs all the way up, and then all the way down. And 1 more. Then let that arm hang or rest on that side of the head. Take a deep breath, fill the lungs, pause filled, and then exhale it all out and pause empty. Again, all the way in, pause, and all the way out, pause. And one more. And then go ahead and let yourself come on all the way up. Take the blanket out and feel for a moment with the eyes closed. Scan from the sit bones up the torso to the shoulders. Feel all the sensation. And then let's come on over to the other side by bringing the blanket under the knee. Bringing your hand, forearm, or elbow on the outer edge or inner edge. I'll represent the inner edge. The hand open to the head, cradle it, or make a fist, thumb on the inside, and build that shelf for the temple or the ear. Let's come to our breath now once again. Lift the arm slowly, like it's moving through thick fluid. And then empty the lungs. Pause empty. Come into your breath with the eyes closed and sense all the sensations from the sit bones anchoring down all the way through the side body to the shoulder to the center of the brain. 2 more. This next time the arm comes up, let it rest on that top edge, nice and heavy. Fill the lungs once again. Feel the breath move you. Pause empty. Then fill yourself right up with a light little pause. And as you exhale, that sweet surrender in this shape. Feel the landmark of the shoulders, the sit bones, the rib cage. And one more breath just like this. Then reach that arm up, sit up, scan the body, and come on into flat. And scan your body flat. This will be our final resting pose, our Shavasana, body scan style. So let yourself rest. You can use a blanket as a blanket, or you can bring it underneath the thighs. And as you rest here, feel into your body. Notice how you feel. Where is that sensation, that heightened sensation? Circle the body, orbit all the way around. The outer edge, through the feet, to the other edge of the body, all the way around the crown. Feel that outer edge of the body. As you feel that placement on the mat and where you are in the room. Let yourself rest here. If you have a little longer to rest, please do. Let yourself absorb all of this goodness as you observe. And thank you for your practice. Namaste.